Go.
Hi, it's teacher Jocelyn. I'm having a good time and I am ready to read books. And the one I have for you right now is Lilly's Purple Plastic Purse, which is by Kevin Henkes. And you know how I love it when a lot of books have the same character so you can get to know them and their friends. And this is one of those books. Lilly is in some other books like Julius, Baby of the World, and Chester's Way. So this one is all about Lilly and her purple plastic purse. And it's also kind of about being at school, which we'll all get to be at school again sometime. Okay, so this one, wait for us. This was Lilly at her elementary school, so maybe kindergarten or first or second grade is Lilly. Lilly loved school. I love school. And I can tell because of the way their classroom is. See if you can tell too. She loved the pointy pencils. She loved the squeaky chalk. Oh, she's doing 25 plus 5. So that's one of the reasons I know she's in elementary school. And she loved the way her boots went clickety clickety click down the long shiny hallways. No running. That too. At preschool we were allowed to run. Lilly loved the privacy of her very own desk. Mine. She loved the fish sticks and chocolate milk every Friday in the lunchroom. Straws make everything taste better. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger, for you. Mr. Slinger was as sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck, and he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. Wow, said Lilly. That's just about all she could say. Wow. It says, listen up, and it says, the global village, one world, the boss is in. Instead of greetings, students, or good morning, pupils, Mr. Slinger winked and said, howdy. He thought that desks and rows were old-fashioned and boring. Do you rodents think you can handle a semicircle? Yes. And he always provided the most tasty snacks, the things that were curly and crunchy and cheesy. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lilly. Me too, said her friends Chester and Wilson and Victor. They're all in Chester's Way. That's another book. At home, Lilly pretended to be Mr. Slinger. I am the teacher, she told her baby brother Julius. Listen up! Lilly even wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. Teachers know everything. Not really. What's with Lilly? Asked her mother. I thought you wanted to be a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva, said her father. It must be because of her new teacher, Mr. Slinger, said her mother. Wow, said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Whenever students had free time, they were permitted to go to the light bulb lab in the back of their classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawing and writing. Lilly went often. She had lots of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him too. During sharing time, Lilly showed her creations to the entire class. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That's just about all I could say. Wow. Big, friendly, Mr. Nice Teacher by me, Lilly. And at the very last second, Mr. Slinger saved the cold, starving elderly. I don't know. That's all I know of that story. When Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lilly stood in line even though she didn't ride the bus. Lilly raised her hand more than anyone in class, even if she didn't know the answer. Call on me, please, please, please. And she volunteered to stay after school to clap erasers. I want to be a teacher when I grow up, said Lilly. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. I agree. It's a great choice. One Monday morning, Lilly came to school especially happy. She'd gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Lilly had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds and a chain just like Mr. Slinger's. She had 3 shiny quarters. And best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune when it was opened. Lilly wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Listen to our story. Lilly had a hard time listening. Shh. Lilly really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Let's be considerate of our classmates. Lilly had a hard time being considerate. This says lice. Lilly really wanted to show everyone. Not now, said Mr. Slinger. Wait until recess or sharing time. But Lilly could not wait. She's in trouble. The glasses were so glittery, the quarters were so shiny, and the purse played such nice music, not to mention how excellent it was for storing school supplies. "Look," Lilly whispered fiercely. "Look, everyone, look what I've got." Everyone looked, including Mr. Slinger. He was not amused. "I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day," said Mr. Slinger. "They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home." Lilly's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Her quarters were gone. Lilly longed for her purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat the snack Mr. Slinger served before recess. That afternoon, Lilly went to the light bulb lab. She was still very sad. And she thought and she thought and she thought. And then she became angry. And she thought and she thought and she thought some more. And then she became furious. She thought and she thought and she thought a bit longer. And then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. "Big, fat, mean Mr. Stealing teacher. Bad. Claws. Thief. Bad. Wanted by the FBI. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up." Right before the last bell rang, Lilly sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. When all the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lilly and gave her purple plastic purse back. "It's a beautiful purse," said Mr. Slinger. "Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class." "I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up," Lilly said as she marched out of the classroom. On the way home, Lilly opened her purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside, and so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks at the bottom of the purse. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. She felt simply awful. Lilly ran all the way home and told her mother and father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lilly decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. "I'll stay here a million years for Mr. Slinger. Why does everything happen to me?" 1051, 1052, 1059. That night, Lilly drew a picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him too. Lilly was really, really sorry, so everyone forgave her, even her parents, even her stinky baby brother, even her especially incredible teacher. And then the sun shined its smiley face down on everyone and everything, even the bugs and worms. The end. "Listen up, I forgive everyone. Nice, good, kind, could be principal. I am really, 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 really sorry. Worms, bugs. Oops." Here's Lilly. "I'm an author." That's true. Lily's mother wrote a note. What does it say? And Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to take to school the next day. How could he resist my no-frills cheese balls? "I think Mr. Sling will understand," said Lily's mother. "I know he will," said Lily's father. The next morning, Lily got to school early. "These are for you," Lily said to Mr. Slinger, "because I'm really, 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 really sorry." Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture, and then he read the note. What does it say? And he sampled the snacks. Yum, yum. "Wow," said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. "What do you think we should do with this?" asked Mr. Slinger. "Could we just throw it away?" asked Lily. "Excellent idea," said Mr. Slinger. During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of her purple plastic purse and her shiny quarters and her glittery movie star sunglasses. It's like having an extra pocket with a radio inside. 3 quarters are even better than $1 because they make noise. Glamorous protection from harmful rays. Then she did a little performance using them as props. "It's called interpretive dance," said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. "Wow," said the entire class. That's just about all I could say. Wow. Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She peeked at greeted them often, but did not disturb a soul. Right before the last bell rang, Mr. Slinger served Lilly's snacks to everyone's delight. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" asked Mr. Slinger. "A teacher," everyone responded. Lily's response was the loudest. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. "Hooray for Mr. Slinger! Delish! Wow! Goodies! Yippee! No frilled cheese balls!" As the pupils filed out of the classroom, Lilly held her purple plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. It had been a better day. Lilly ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy, and she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. That is, when she didn't want to be a dancer or a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva or a pilot or a hairdresser or a scuba diver. "Hold still, the doctor's here." Ah! Ready for takeoff. "Accident, accident, woo, 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 woo." Oh, Lilly. I'm glad they made up, aren't you? Okay, see you next time for more stories.